What's happening, everyone? Welcome to another Leg It Sportcast. It's me, Andy Grant.
It's me, Jordan Neild.
Well, Jordan Neild or Mr. Meg.
No, yeah, that was a good tweet, to be fair. Do you know what? We're on a good run. We are on a very good run.
No,
but...
you're on a good run. To the point where, I forget your name, mate, but someone come up to me on the school run and said, lad, your tips are shite. Jordan is smashing it.
No, it's always good, but I'm sure in a month or two it'll flip around. Let's
start off on your tips, mate. You said literally word for word what would happen in that Canelo fight.
It's just like, I don't want to like blow my own trumpet, but sort of when you do your own work.
Mate, I will blow it for you, mate. You know what you're talking about when it comes to boxing.
To be fair, like I spend, my missus will vouch for this, I spend so long like researching and like watching fights, like cause a bit of murder, to be honest. Yeah, so I do my homework, so it's not luck, do you know what I mean? But, as I said with the gambling stuff, if you're going to get good, you have to like specialise. You have to be good in one area, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what I've learned from, reading about people who love gambling and stuff. So yeah, I do my homework, and obviously I'm just in a good space at the moment.
Mate, you nailed it. Absolutely nailed it.
It was a crazy finish. Like, I couldn't have said he was going to break his cheekbone in half, but
I got a bit scared for when he started going like that with his hands and getting the crowd going. It was like he was just baying for blood. He's
becoming like, he's getting this order now of like, nothing anyone can do is going to beat me. Do you know what I mean? And obviously he got beat by Floyd Mayweather in 2013, but since then he's become Floyd Mayweather essentially. He's just controlling
his power is scary, isn't it? There's not many fighters, like Tyson was one of them, but there's not many fighters where when they throw a big body shot where you go, you're kind of watching it at home and you wince.
He's so accurate as well. He doesn't waste anything. But it's just the stuff, obviously, where he's geeing the crowd up. He's starting to become the showman now as well, not just for the large part of his career, he just basically spoke Spanish, kept his head down. And
that's it. Has he learned English, has he now then?
Well, recently? I think he's always known it, but he's just sort of, stayed into his Spanish, because it's easy to get misquoted, isn't it? It's easy to like people to say you've said stuff that you haven't when you're speaking in someone else's language. But yeah, he's teamed up with Eddie Hearn. I think Eddie's been right behind that, pushing the speak English.
Yeah, let's get your personality out a bit more.
Mate, I reckon he's got more fans in the last month or two than he's had in his whole career.
Yeah,
because he literally is the superstar of the sport now.
I did see a couple of tweets, which not trying to take anything away from him because I think he's brilliant, but people do come back to his power and his size down to the drugs.
Yeah, it's a massive question, isn't it? I mean, because he started at light welterweight, I think, and now he's he knocked out a light heavyweight one punch. You got this questions in people.
Well, what is the weight difference for anyone who's not?
So light heavyweight's 175, and he's fought at 154, as low as 154. So
that's 20 pounds.
Yeah, 20 pounds.
But that's over nearly 2 stone, isn't it?
Yeah. But it's not that people can go up in weight, but you'll always you'll always give things away. Same as he's giving nothing away. And Kovalev was aging and stuff like that, but still it's just people just Pacquiao did it, didn't he? Pacquiao's gone through like 9 divisions and he's got a drugs thing over him. It just stinks a little bit, but you've got to hope it's not true.
And the damage he's done to Billy Joe's face,
career ender. Just to be honest, Billy Joe's made a lot of money, so whether he even wants to come back, because he's
31 now, isn't he?
Yeah, but he's been paid very well. That's obviously a massive payday with Canelo. So whether he even wants to come back, what's he coming back for? Do you know what I mean? And Kell Brook came back after he'd done the exact same injury against Golovkin and done the other eye, and obviously he's now going to be permanently damaged. At 30, whatever you are, your early 30s, your life's just getting going. Yes, your boxing life, you're in your prime, but your actual life just getting going. And he's a rich, wealthy man.
Similar age, mate. I'm 33 and not got the money they've got. Like, but I feel like my life.
You don't feel like you want to stop, do you?
No, I'm like, getting better if anything in my life. But it's scary to think the damage that was done to his face.
I think he broke three breaks,
3 fractures or so. Yeah,
and I read a report to say that it was essentially his eyeball was dropping into his cheek, so that's why it closed over so quickly. But it's just this quit thing's been about all week, but I don't think he quit. Maybe did he get the fight beaten out of him? Yes, but that's what boxing is.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But he went back to his corner, and his corner did the job. There's nothing worse than a brave corner. They did their job. They're there to protect him.
I think when people have said he quit, I think people wanted to see him kind of go, no, let me continue, and his corner say no. I think the fact that he just kind of went, just went along with his corner without putting up a fight to them. Maybe that's what annoys people. But
that corner get paid to protect Billy Joe Saunders, and they're getting paid a lot of money. You know, we've seen it countless times in the past. A brave cornerman when someone goes out and gets hurt, career over. They've protected him. They've done the job. Yes, he lost his belt. Yes, he lost the fight, but he's going home. You know what I mean? And that's the main thing.
And I think that corner will have been watching that last round after the injury done. And I think they said in commentary, every time Canelo was even flinching, Billy Joe was jumping back, and it was if to go, this fucking hurts this.
Yeah. Like, well, his corner, he had Mark Tibbs, who's like a long time trainer. Ben Davison was in there as well, who's had Fury and stuff, and he's got Josh Taylor and people like that now. So it was a very experienced, very knowledgeable corner. So they did the right thing, but sometimes you're just outgunned, aren't you?
Yeah, and he was fucking massively outgunned, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So yeah, you nailed your bet. Me, what price was that at? 3-2?
Yeah, 2-1, I think it was.
2-1.
Yeah, 2-1, 7-12. But then, the knockout was just evens. But yeah, good weekend.
Brilliant weekend, mate. I had Suarez to score any time, and it was a boring 0-0.
Just one of them.
Just don't follow my bets. Just follow Jordan's.
It'll come back round, mate. It will come back round.
I think Atletico they only need 2 wins now.
Yeah, I've seen that.
2 wins. I think they've...
that game looked like a fearful game, didn't it? Nobody really wanted to...
No.
Just don't lose, sort of thing.
And I just thought, though, it's teed up for Suarez to be the villain.
Yeah.
But he's adored at Barca.
Yeah.
And, I thought that's got Suarez's name written all over it. Wasn't to be for him. And I think that's now Atletico have got 2 games to go. Win both them, they've won the league.
Yeah.
Which is nice, I think, to mix it up between them.
I think, as we said last week, it's always good for a club like that to win it, isn't it? And, everyone loves that. Break the big teams up, really.
Yeah, big time. Was that what happened? Rangers won again, which means that their game this weekend...
Season unbeaten.
Yeah, over 100 points if they win this weekend as well.
It's ridiculous to go season. I've seen Gerrard got the manager of the year, which must have been the easiest decision that they've ever had. But that meeting was about 5 minutes long. Obviously that's a crazy achievement. And whatever people say about it being a farmers league or being this and that, people haven't done it before. Well, I know Celtic have set records, but no one's gone into Rangers and done that before. So you've got to give credit, haven't you?
And I think any league that you do it in, even if it's the fucking Swiss league, the fucking whatever, you do need to have a certain level of consistency. Even if you are far superior, you've got to be on your game every single week. That
team have been pretty much perfect, but I bet it's come with a lot of hard work. Do you know what I mean? Just because it's easy for us to say Farmers League, but anybody who's saying that wouldn't last 5 minutes in the Scottish League. They get run off the pitch. But
you look at some of the players who've gone up there, and who've maybe look at John Flanagan. A few years ago at Liverpool, he was 2014. Yeah, he was one of the players of the year when we nearly won the league. Yeah, and he didn't even get his game at Rangers.
There's good players like Stephen Davis plays centre mid for Rangers, doesn't he? He played in the Premier League. For Southampton, he would have over 100 Premier League games. Defoe's over there, obviously, but people do like to give it a bit of stick. And
Defoe still banging them in, by the way.
He'll never stop. To be honest, though, obviously he's still quite sharp, but he's never been like rapid as he was always just sharp.
Yeah,
but his finishing. He's got to go down as one of the best finishers in English football history.
I remember I always wanted Liverpool to sign him.
Yeah, I did as well. I remember years ago.
Him and Darren Bent. Yeah. I always fancied them too.
Darren Bent was he was just always coming, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Rather than Carlton Cole.
I know.
We were linked to Carlton Cole for years.
Always.
Bad. But Defoe, he's going to go down as one of the best finishers in English football history, really. Deadly.
I think so, mate. What other sports have we had on this weekend? As in last weekend?
I don't know.
The boxing was me. I was caught up in that Canelo.
To be honest, it was that was one of the biggest fights of the year. And I think obviously Floyd Mayweather used to have the sort of when Floyd fought, the world stopped, and Canelo's got that now. And that was the first weekend for me where it felt like everybody was watching it. Twitter was just full of boxing. In a weekend where I know the footy's coming to an end a little bit, but.
I think as well, mate, it was nice to kind of see momentarily, like you say, might have been for the weekend, but all the bullshit of the YouTube boxers, all that kind of conversation stopped, didn't
proper boxing,
proper fighters, proper warriors going to war.
I think it was just a timely reminder, isn't it, of the levels that it takes, do you know what I mean? Because, you watch, we love the freak shows, people always will, people always have, but, when you watch someone like Canelo, and someone like Billy Joe Saunders, to be fair, where it's, the top of the tree, people they've been doing this for years and years. Canelo turned pro when he's 15. He's fighting for half his life.
That is mad.
He's only 30. It's ridiculous.
15?
Yeah.
You even allowed to? Obviously you are, but...
Not in Britain, but he was on like Mexican small hall shows. 15, yeah. Him and his brothers. Because he's got quite a few brothers who are all pros, but they obviously never reached this level. But yeah, so he's only 30, so he's been fighting professionally for half his life. It's just ridiculous, mad, isn't it? But yeah, he'll be back soon, mate.
Mate, it's difficult to talk about the Liverpool game because it's tonight. It's Thursday, so this has been recorded Thursday. Liverpool play Thursday night.
Yeah,
but it'll be able to listen to and watch on Friday morning. So
hope we've won.
You're either watching this thinking, yeah, we're talking shite because we've won or we've lost, whatever. But the big one in the week was Arsenal beating Chelsea.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I looked at it and thought the game the night before, Leicester. I thought United could beat Leicester, but they just threw the kids out.
You can't blame them, I don't think.
We'd have done the same.
Yeah,
you can't cry.
Mate, and listen, if Liverpool don't get Champions League, it's not because Man United put out a weak inside. It's
Klopp nailed that.
Yeah, we don't deserve to be there.
It's our fault. It's nobody else's fault. Yeah, we've had injuries and stuff, but you are where you deserve to be. We deserve to be top last year, and we deserve to be wherever we are, at the end of this season. But yeah, I thought that was one that might open the door for us a little bit. I didn't see Arsenal beating Chelsea.
No,
I wouldn't back Arsenal to beat anyone. No. And yeah, they won, and so I think, obviously, depending on how this United game goes, Liverpool could be going into the last.
I think, mate, it's we said it last night on text, it's the hope that kills you, isn't it?
I'd rather be tailed off.
I keep saying every week I'm done with footy for the season.
Yeah.
And then they just slowly claw me back in with, there's a chance you might...
If we did get top four, it'd be the biggest smashing grab. We just don't deserve it.
No.
At all, but, as I just said then, you do end up where you deserve, so...
Those couple of draws that we had last week with was it Newcastle and someone
90
else?
plus 5.
You think...
It's all them little things, isn't it? You look back to, like, the pivotal moments, like that, when we were playing Leicester, and, like, we just giving away goals.
Yeah.
With, like, Alisson, like, City as well. There's always pivotal moments in a season, in there where you think you're going to recover, but you don't quite. But, yeah, I wouldn't... This time last week, I thought we were dead and buried, so,
I just don't think we've got it in us to win our last 3-4 games.
Anyone who's watched it, I wouldn't back Liverpool to win 2 games in a row.
That's what I mean. It's getting 4 games in a row, which is we haven't done, I don't think, all season. I'd be surprised. So even if results do go our way, I'm not... I
think Liverpool just got to focus on finishing strong. Wherever you end up, but just finish strong, do you know what I mean? Just at least try to finish strong, and then, next season go for it again. But
I was happy that Van Dijk's pulled out of the Dutch squad as well.
I think, I don't know if that's the case of him just not being fit, but, we'd need him back desperately. The last thing we needed is him going there and doing it again.
So,
then that just...
Coming back too early, not being right or something, so...
And I think he's one of them players, isn't he, where he's going to be like, next season for him, it's going to be a sort of proving his point. Because,
massively, yeah.
We've had people like Diaz from City coming through, and...
I think, likes of him, is going to feel like he's still Premier League champion. Like, he's not really had the chance to defend it, has he?
Same with... I mean, I know Henderson played a lot, but he's been injured as well, hasn't he? So, I don't know what his situation will be with England.
I think he's still aiming for the Euros,
But we need him back. We need... fuck that. We need them big players back, and we need to add around them, and, if we can just get them fit to August, that'll do.
No, same. So, yeah, that was like a bit of a roundup of the footy this week. Looking at this weekend, I've seen today Joe Marler, he's Harlequins in England, he's come out about mental health. It's obviously Mental Health Awareness Week. I think it's great, and it's being spoken about more and more, and I think with footy players and sports stars, if you like, you do just forget they are human, don't you?
Yeah, you do, mate. And I think, did you see that stuff with Ollie McBurney where he got into a fight, the Sheffield United striker? He's outside a pub or something, and someone's just videoing him, shouting abuse at him, and then he reacts and he gets arrested. And Ravel Morrison, who used to play for United and stuff, he tweeted saying, like, what do you expect? And what do you expect? Like, if someone was videoing you, and
famous or not,
and they're like shouting stuff at you, you're going to react. It's just natural. But people
if you walked in town on a Friday night and stood outside the boozer and watched a fella come out, like a young lad in his 20s, 30s, and filmed him going, hey, you'd expect to get filled in.
Yeah, you would,
in the middle of the pool. So why people feel that they can do it to a footy player, and it's just free
The
game.
thing is, when they got the phone out, you see on that video, he's saying, come on then. If you didn't have that phone, you would not be saying, come on then. No. You'd walk past with your head down probably, or you'd ask him for a photo.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. And obviously my brother, being a jockey, he has done an interview this week about mental health awareness, because he's sponsored by Stamp Out Suicide and stuff. And he's at the sort of, the start of his career, but he's had mad messages and stuff, because he got beat a couple of weeks ago on the horse that he won on, Nye Bevan. He got beat on it, and you know, J40 should have won on it, just errors. And Twitter people were saying crazy stuff about him and sending him messages and stuff like that, because obviously they've lost the fivers.
Fuck
but
me.
you know, for him to be getting it, you know, these people at the top end, you know, what are they living through? Do you know what I mean?
Mate, yeah, you know what I always think as well? It's, you've got the kind of that abuse, maybe online abuse and things like that, which can have a big impact on your mental health. You've got the pressures of your job, you know, your sport, which is obviously highly pressured. What I think people always forget is you've got the normal nitty gritty stuff.
Yeah.
Your bird might be doing your head in, the kids might be doing your head in. Oh yeah, I know they're on a lot of money, but they probably have a lot more outlays. You know, they might be struggling financially. They might be.
People forget that, don't they? They think they earn a lot of money, but they have a lot of overheads as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And it's
we all do.
the little things that we all have to deal with.
Yeah, I know.
Do you know what I mean? Like the fucking car might have broken down and they've got a fucking sort of spit. You know,
or stuff like contracts. You know, the club saying we don't know if we're going to renew your contract. Where am I going to go? Where are my bills going to get paid next year? But people do have this thing like they're superhuman. They don't feel anything. But again, it comes back to the fact there's no fucking repercussion, is there?
Yeah.
You don't.
That's it.
I could log on right now and write whatever I want, and nobody's ever going to do anything to me. Twitter might ban me for 24 hours. No one's going to do anything. Police might give me a telling off, but nothing's going to.
And yet the impact it has on whoever you're saying it to,
exactly,
it
you
can be
don't
massive.
know. Yeah, and you know, I think obviously BT did that thing, BT Sport, didn't he? And they were writing. I mean, you know, that girl I forget her name. She's like a pundit. She got something wrong, and you know, she just got heckled and abuse. But I think, you know,
just don't be a dick. It's dead
social
easy.
media
Just
reflects society, doesn't it?
Don't be a
knobheads
dick.
everywhere.
So it's good that these people are coming out and talking about mental health like that, because I think a big part of mental health is from social media. Whether you're on it too much, whether you're getting abuse on it, or whether it's just not good for you to be on it.
The rise in mental health issues and the rise in social media is not a coincidence.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
So I like it when I see, and especially rugby, fucking the guy Joe Marley, he's massive. Do you know what I mean?
It's good, you know. I know Tyson Fury's done it as well. It's good when, like, the old school manly, you know, rugged fellas do it, because then I think that does make people think, like, you know, if he can feel like that, then sort of I can feel like that. Yeah. And you know, I think that's the most important thing, and you know, fair play to him.
No, 100%, mate. We also have got the this is a bit of a farce. I think the Champions League's been moved.
Yeah.
Which I agree with it being moved if Turkey's on the red list. But they said Wembley, which I thought it makes sense because it's 2 English clubs. Yeah. But now they're saying Porto's ground. And the reason being, I looked into it, is because England or the FA or whoever didn't want 2,000 media people coming in. So now they're going to send 8,000 fans fucking to Portugal, who are going to mix with probably the 2,000 media people.
Bring back some variants.
So I'm not even getting into the whole COVID thing, but I think that's what's been the problem with the conspiracies and the COVID stuff, is that there's so many mixed messaging.
Yeah.
You think in the end, well, this is me anyway, I just think it's just fucking not COVID is bullshit, but how they're managing it.
The thought process around it is bullshit.
I'm like, something can't be right. Because none of it makes sense.
No. That is just ridiculous.
So they've got 2 English teams, and they're allowed 4 sets, I think, 2 sets of obviously 4,000 people, 4,000 fans from each are going to go to the ground. They could have it in England, but no, they're going to make potentially 8,000 fans travel to Portugal, mix with everyone there.
Yeah, what was the numbers of media that are coming? Like, you've seen
2,000. Apparently, Wembley didn't want 2,000 extra media people coming in.
It's ridiculous. I mean, you could essentially just make, I know 2,000 is a bit of an extreme number, but if you do it right, you could just charter them in, do the rapid testing thing, put them in the ground, and send them back out. It's not. People are doing this stuff. Do you know what I mean? Every other sport's setting up bubbles. Yeah. The F1's travelling around the world.
And mate, as always, who's paying the price for it?
Exactly.
The fans. The fans are forking out now prices. Not even just the normal what you would, as in your flight, your hotel, but now they're going to be getting charged with COVID testing, you know, all this stuff. And
any hotel in Portugal now is going to say, right, we haven't had customers for thing, throw that up 100%.
Fucking joke, innit?
And that, you know, we just said it before, but just reflects society, doesn't it? The madness in society just reflected there again. It's just ridiculous. But
so I think probably Friday that'll get announced. I could be chatting shit. They could have it in England.
Wembley.
But but I did see that today.
Yeah, it's stupid.
The other thing I seen, which I thought I wanted to touch on, and you can tell me that funny story again, but McGregor, highest paid athlete, 128 million, and they reckon only, I think it was, might have been 14 of it come from inside the octagon.
Yeah. I mean, I know UFC is MMA is quite behind on terms of pay and stuff. Obviously, he does a lot of pay-per-view, so, you know, he will have got extra there, but, you know, what he's involved in terms of the whiskey and the business ventures, and just him, imagine what he generates just off social media, do you know what I mean? It's ridiculous, but, yeah, that's big. It's a big moment for MMA, because, you know, I've said it about 8 times, but obviously I believe it's the fastest growing sport in the world, and obviously he's trailblazing it. They need him to keep winning. But, you know, he's not going to be around forever. But.
Oh, mate, every time he comes out with one of his little fucking diva moments and he says he's retiring, I can just imagine Dana going, no. It's me fucking cash cow. Literally. It'd be like if Joshua just turned around one day and said, I'm done. Eddie Hearn would be at flap stations, wouldn't he?
Because MMA's got a lot of big stars like Adesanya, Till, people like that who are big, you know, personalities and stuff, but there's no one like him that can bring the eyes that he brings, bring the money he brings, sell out the places he does. And obviously, they need him to be the heel as well, because in his last fight, Poirier, he was like dead nice and like they were taking pictures together, but he seems to have flipped that back now for the trilogy and go back to being, you know, the villain.
It's mate, like he just knows he knows the game and he knows how to play it.
I regularly watch the YouTube, there's like a YouTube clip of like all his crazy press conference moments.
Some of them have been brilliant.
Yeah. The one with Khabib where he was just going mental, and there's ones where he's like, you know, he comes in dancing while the press conference has been on for like 20 minutes.
One of my favourites was when he had was against the Brazilian, what was his name?
Jose Aldo. He took the belt.
And he took the belt and he's there. Aldo's doing a press conference and he's got his little head in the square.
The thing with he done one with Nate Diaz as well. They were doing like a joint TV interview, so the screen was split in the air. He talk about money and he goes, I'll take over from here. He just...
She goes, can you do a mic check? He goes, can you count to 5? And he goes, they can only count to 3.
He is comedy, and I know, you know, he's got his things outside the ring where he's been a bit of an idiot.
Tell me the story you just told me about the pub.
So obviously what he did wrongly when he punched the old guy in a pub, don't know why he did that, but he did. So eventually what he's done now is he's gone and bought the pub that the incident happened in and barred the old guy.
I'm not laughing, that's wrong.
Yeah, it is wrong, but it's so petty.
It's so petty that it's funny, isn't it?
And to announce it, he on Twitter, they said like this pub's been sold to McGregor Entertainment or whatever, and he quote tweeted it and said, "Yeah, in your man's bar." But he is comedy, but you know he's a dickhead in the same.
He's one of those where I'd love to be his mate, but he'd be one of them every Sunday morning. You'd wake up after the night out and go, "Lad, you are a knobhead. Like you can't do stuff like that." But then by the Sunday afternoon, you'd be back out having a pint with him.
A couple of years ago, he was having a party in Iton, wasn't he?
He come for the Grand National and was here for like a week, wasn't he?
And he I don't know, he holed up in some house in Iton.
All videos were going around on WhatsApp and just in a tree house it was at some point, wasn't he?
He's an oddball, but he's one of a kind, isn't he?
But like I say, how much he's made? What, 128 mil in this year?
It's growing as well.
Do you know
I think he sold that whiskey for like, I don't know, 700 million or so.
He sold it?
He sold like a massive
part of
it,
share of it.
I think he only owns a small part now.
Yeah, so fair play to him, mate. I've seen as well this week, which I think is a bit mad, Real, Barca and Juve have still not withdrew from that Europa Super League.
I know, I've seen that, and Juventus are in a terrible position as well, aren't they?
Well, the other ironic thing about it is Juve, Liverpool, Tottenham, Arsenal.
Yeah, not even going to be in Champions League. No, that is just life, innit? Biting you on the arse. But I've seen that stuff. They just sort of stand on the ground, and it just comes back to what we said at the time. This ain't going away. These people aren't going to just forget about this. You know, they're going to be more clever. They're going to come back with a different way of doing it. Maybe be more clever in who did the group, but they're not going away. I know that for certain.
I just don't know why they're still holding their hand in Barca and.
Sort of, it's one of them, isn't it? It's like be pally with the powers that be, and you'll get a pass yourself. And you know they probably obviously know more than us.
I mean, listen, I totally agree with you that it's not going away, but I'm so intrigued to know how they're going to try and rebrand it and make it any better than we're fucking the whole leagues off.
I don't. The only thing that I think they can do is get more numbers and sort of safety in numbers sort of thing. So if they did bring in Everton, people like that, and maybe another team, and then it starts to become
I don't think it is.
Starts to become like big bull. No, it was big bullies anyway, but it becomes more big bullies, doesn't it? And I hope it doesn't work. But as I said, the reason these people got to where they are is because they're ruthless, nasty people, and they essentially get what they want.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
And then this weekend coming up, mate, is the FA Cup final.
Yeah.
Chelsea-Leicester.
Yeah, I love the FA Cup. I always have. I mean, I've seen this 20 years from Michael Owen doing the Arsenal thing.
Yeah.
I still remember that.
Same.
Watching it in my uncle's house. And that's one of my earliest memories of footy.
Yeah, it was one of mine that season. I think I started going to the pub with my dad to watch the match. He'd take me for the big games.
And I remember it was like a dead hot day and like in the garden and stuff as kids. 20 years, mad, isn't it?
Yeah, crazy.
But yeah, the FA Cup, no matter how much they try and, the foreign managers and stuff try to forget about it, it'll always be the FA Cup. It'll always be special, do you know what I mean? Even growing up, like, I remember the third round used to be in like January, didn't it? And I always remember coming home from footy as a kid and like watching it. The upsets always happen and still do happen, but yeah, it's a great tournament. But
I hope, just because I hate Chelsea, but I hope Leicester do win.
Yeah.
Just because of Rodgers as well. I hate Rodgers a little bit because I feel he was so stubborn in that Chelsea game.
Yeah.
When we could have just went for the draw and he went for the win. That's just his tactical naivety, maybe going up against his old boss kind of Mourinho. But listen, he's a good manager.
He's a better manager now than he was then, and
yeah.
I think Leicester's the perfect job for him, innit?
Yeah, and what he's doing with them is just unbelievable. I think when he come to Liverpool, I spoke to lads who work at the club, and it was kind of like his ego got the better of him, because when he manager of Swansea, if he said anything, fucking the Swansea fucking local rag had put it in as a headline. You say one word as Liverpool manager, there's a fucking fella in Thailand on the beach who knows about it.
Literally,
Do you know what I mean? And I think that got to him a little bit. Just
I think players have spoke about that, haven't they? Like when they come to a club like Liverpool, realising actually how big it is and what the pressure that it comes with. And I do think his ego did get him.
I think sometimes on this podcast I say something, don't even fucking know what I say. I don't ever prepare nothing. We just talk, and like I do with Tom,
just wing it.
Just like it's just normal pub chat. That's how I like to have it. And then someone will go to me, "Oh, it's funny what you said on that." I can't fucking remember. Imagine that's on a very small scale. But imagine if you said something in an interview, and then you were getting messages from fucking Brazil or fucking China.
It's a reason most of them are born as sin, because they just reply the safe sentences because of that. Because you don't want to get mistranslated, you don't want to get sort of misquoted. But I think he was probably a bit naive when he come to Liverpool. But I think where he's at now, I wouldn't be surprised if there was plenty of clubs now looking for him. Even the likes of Tottenham and stuff.
Yeah,
to try and take him, but if I was him, I'd just stay at Leicester, because
I think if you can get Champions League, I think he'll definitely stay at Leicester. I mean, it'd be mad if they don't get it now. That'll be the second or third season which they've just dropped out.
He's got that though, hasn't he? Like I know, I do. I don't dislike him, but his teams do have them sort of frailties in terms of these can go here. Do you know what I mean? These can mess this up, and if they fell out, I wouldn't be surprised. I'd be more surprised if one of us overtook Chelsea. But they've got to play each other, haven't they, Chelsea, Leicester, again after this?
Like Leicester's running, obviously they played United. I think they've got to play, might be Spurs. And
Chelsea. They got the FA Cup final and then Chelsea Spurs, Do
you know what I mean? It's going to be hard for them. I mean,
They need for them to get the FA Cup, though, be huge, won't it? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But on the flip side of that, Chelsea could come out with a treble. Did they win the Carabao Cup?
Did they,
Yeah, so I think they beat...
No, City won that.
Did they?
Oh, no.
Did Chelsea win it? With
Chelsea must have won it,
So I think they won it, so they could win the Champions League.
No, they didn't. City won it.
Did they?
Nah, City won the Carabao Cup,
Yeah, thank God.
They can do the double, Chelsea.
Yeah, so they do the double.
Yeah, the
But if
double.
they come out FA Cup and Champions League winners, big season, isn't it?
Mate, what boxing have we got up?
So we got Joshua Buatsi this weekend. He's like one of the Olympians from 2016. He's headlining in Manchester again in a bit of a knockover. Well, not a knockover. 15-0 French guy, Dos Santos. But Buatsi's a brilliant talent. He's been over to America now, training with Virgil Hunter, who had Andre Ward and stuff. So it's his first fight with him. So it'll be interesting to see that. And it's a decent undercard, to be honest. Lerone Richards, Tommy McCarthy and Gamal Yafai, all British lads, all fighting for European titles. Bit of a trade card this week in terms of like, your hardcore boxing fan. Yeah. But it's it will be good viewing. There's a lad on the undercard, Dalton Smith, who for me is the best prospect in the country, one of the best in the world. Yeah, lad from Sheffield. He was on the GB setup, He never went the Olympics, but won big medals in all the major tournaments. It turned over. He beat a Scouse lad not long ago, Nathan Bennett. I think he's 7-0 now. And yeah, he's fighting Lee Appleyard for the English title.
What weight's he fighting now?
He's a super lightweight, so that's 140 £140. Whether he stays there going forward, I don't know. But he's a proper prospect. Like, he's, you know, as good as it gets in Britain for me. So he's fighting for the English title, which is his first step up.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's one definitely to keep an eye on. And as I say, it's a bit of a trade card, but one of these are the shows that are unbelievable.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Sometimes you get the big pay-per-views that are crap.
Yeah.
But these Sky Sports shows, you know, the ones that usually take off. And I think I've got a bet on there as well for later.
Well, before we go on to the bets, one thing we didn't touch on, mate, was Liam Smith.
Ah, yeah. Horrible.
That's just, I mean...
Yeah, my reaction says it all, really.
Yeah. It's one of them, though, isn't it? Before it happens, you thought he's got to get a knockout, he won't win. And when he doesn't get the knockout, it's like you're still shocked, though, at the score. Like,
to be honest, it's hard for me.
It was a close fight, wasn't it?
It's hard for me because when I speak about boxing to people who don't like boxing or they don't know about it, they always say to me, it's rigged though, isn't it? Or it's bent or whatever. And obviously for me, I'm like, I have to defend the sport because I love it. But then there's days like that when I can't even defend it. I just got to say, yeah, it is. But he got a knockdown in the first round that didn't get counted, which was a clear knockdown. And there's just no way he lost the fight. If he won it by a round or two, yeah, it was probably fairer than that. But, you know, if they did that, no problem. It was close. Have a rematch. But to do him the way they did, I think one of the cards was 117, 112 or something.
Yeah, about 5 or 6 rounds, wasn't it, one of them?
Like that's he's wrote that before the fight even started, which is ridiculous. But I listened to an interview with him this morning, and I felt sorry for him, to be honest. He was saying, I don't know where my career is now. I'm going to have to go sideways. I genuinely thought I'd get a crack. They told me that it would be fair. And you know, you sort of hear the defeatist in somebody. Yeah. I felt terrible because, you know, he's another lad. He's got a family. He's got kids. You know, you're taking his livelihood. What he gets paid now next time is a fraction of what he got paid then. Do you know what I mean? You don't understand the impact that's going to have on him. Because if he won that, he goes to fight Tim Tszyu, who's one of the biggest up-and-coming talents from Australia, in a massive fight. Could land on, you know, Joshua Fury on the card, anything. Could be...
You don't think of all that, do you?
And then now he's probably... His manager's going to ring Eddie Hearn, and Eddie Hearn's going to be like, well, I can maybe get you this fight for this amount. Imagine going through your career or your life and you're earning X amount and then, you know, a third or half less.
Yeah.
It's hard, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? And no, I think Liam's earned good money in his career, but still, he's not fought for 17 months before that, not had a payday for 17 months. I
think credit to him as well, mate. I think he got back on the Saturday, fought on the Friday, got back on the Saturday, and he was playing Sunday League. He said
it last week, didn't he? He loves his Sunday League. Well, there's a big boxing sort of journalist called Steve Bunt, and he was saying this week footy's his first love. It always has been. Do you know what I mean? Just good at boxing. And, you know, to be playing with his mates is great. But yeah, you know, I hope they can get a rematch. I don't know if we get a rematch, get him something. Do you know what I mean? But any big fight now probably is going to be in the away corner, and you know how hard that is. I've seen Tasha Jonas go back to back in the away corner. Fucking brutal game, mate. Sometimes it was horrible though to see. I mean, Friday night I watched it, and after it I was just like, why? Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I was gutted for all the lads there, knowing the lads from the gym, and that I was absolutely wounded for them all. Yeah, that would have been big for them. Obviously, the rotunda. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they're definitely, to be positive, to go back to a positive, they're a gym on the up. Do you know what I mean? They're Declan O'Rourke and Joe McNally are 2 trainers on the up.
Yeah, massively.
Do you know what I mean? They'll be around for
really
many years
lads,
to come. Yeah. That's what boxing needs. Do you know what I mean? You know, we have all the established trainers, the Adam Booths, you know, Jamie Moore, people like that, but you need the fresh blood. Do you know what I mean? Keep coming, keep bringing the fighters through. The Rotunda's been bringing fighters through since it started.
I see Molly trains in there as well.
And
stuff, and I think April Hunter, her name is as well.
Yeah.
And Bellu's managing a couple of them from there as well.
I think it's always been a gym. It's famous in Liverpool, isn't it? It's famous in boxing circles. But you know, when you look at what they've actually produced, and they still what they're doing for the kids, and they do like an inclusive thing for people with learning difficulties and disabilities and stuff like that. These places should be getting so much credit. Yeah, they don't. But
no, I know. And it's all done through a lot of it through volunteers. It's not government help and stuff. No. It's
and that's amazing. What boxing at its grassroots. You know, people have its detractors and say it should be banned and stuff like that. But boxing at its grassroots gives people hope, gives people a way out. And people with difficulties, learning difficulties, disabilities, gives them something to focus on their week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just long may it continue, really.
Yeah. Your bet this weekend, is it even any point in fucking giving my tip?
So you got a lot of notes there.
I know. I'll give mine first. So again, mate, just on the I think with Chelsea having a little blip, I think winning that Champions League is going to be the big thing for them.
Yeah.
And I think Chelsea are going to be feeling that they need to kind of, I'm not saying that they don't want to win the FA Cup, of course they do, but I think they're going to be thinking more with the blip that they need to guarantee the Champions League place. Yeah. I think Leicester, they're not often in situations where they can win a cup, and I know Champions League's important financially, but I think the players have been there the last season where they're top four and never quite made it. You don't get a cup for finishing in top four.
No one wants to see a top four medal when you're 45, do they?
Exactly. And I think with Leicester being in that situation last couple of seasons where they've been on the brink of top four, now they've got a chance to get some more silverware after a few of them won the league a few years back. And I think I fancy them for it. The 3-1 to win it, to win the game.
It's big, that.
But I'd be more inclined to do them to lift the cup. At 9-5.
Yeah. Whether
that's on penalties or extra time. I just think Chelsea obviously far superior than Leicester, but I don't know, I just think they're going to be a bit more focused on getting the top
Chelsea
four in the Champions League.
Not far off full strength against Arsenal. They did look tired, and it's a case of sometimes, isn't it, of like one eye on what's coming. And if you've got a FA Cup final and Champions League final to prepare for, I don't care who you are, as much as we love the FA Cup, there's one thing on your mind, isn't it?
And even the last couple of league games that they've got, it's the fucking Champions League.
Yeah.
You've got one eye on it.
When Liverpool have got there, I've always been like, the games that are then in the middle of getting to the Champions League, as a fan, I'm like, get these out the way, do you know what I mean? Just want to get to that game. And players, as we've touched on in the mental health aspect, they're human. They're going to look forward.
Yeah.
And it's a case of if they lose on Saturday, they've got another chance to replicate it. This is Leicester's season, do you know what I mean?
Exactly. That's the other thing. It's like how much of it is, listen, we've got Champions League to look forward to. Yeah, I mean, it'd be nice this, but it's not the end of the world. Where if Leicester don't win this, when's the next time they get into a final?
And if Leicester don't win this, and then go into the last two games and they can still get caught, it's the hangover, isn't it? It's what comes.
The strikers they've got up front, obviously Vardy needs nothing said about him, but Iheanacho as well has been on fire.
He's a player it's took a while, hasn't he? And he was at City and he was well thought of and stuff like that. But it's took a while for it to click. But he's starting to look like
the end of the season, mate. He's been on fire, and I think Vardy has got a great record of scoring against the top six.
He's one of them players you think, when's he going to slow down? And he just not, is he?
No, so that's another bet. I don't know what price you get on him, but for him first goal or any time, always just check out, just Google it. His record against the top six is incredible.
He's a big game player as well, isn't he?
Massive, yeah. So
he loves the occasion.
I think maybe look at Vardy maybe in your bets, but I want to go 9-5 Leicester today to lift the cup.
Yeah, I like it. My bet is going to be in boxing again, sticking to what I know. Gamal Yafai by decision. He's on the undercard, as I said, for the European title this weekend. He's fighting Jason Cunningham, who's like a sort of British stalwart, like proper, not small or, but a real good servant. Only gets beat by class operators. Doesn't never gives in, stuff like that. So Gamal Yafai by decisions 5-2. Cunningham's fought Conlon, didn't get stopped. Fought Jordan Gill, didn't get stopped. He's been stopped once in his career early on by Reece Bellotti, who is a bit of a puncher. Not much else, but he's a bit of a puncher. And Gamal Yafai's a good fighter, but he's not known for his power.
Is Gamal Yafai one of those top class operators you think?
Yeah, I mean, he's been around for a while now, and he's had a couple of defeats. He got beat by Gavin McDonald, but he's a solid European level fighter. Do you know what I mean? And he's obviously one of the Yafai brothers who are good for British boxing. But yeah, he's fighting Cunningham, and I just think 5-2 is a bit big for the points decision, considering Yafai's not a massive puncher. And it's obviously a big fight for the European title, but it's me one worry is that Cunningham's been sort of affected by the pandemic and hasn't really fought much. But yeah, I think he's I just can't see him being stopped. Not against Yafai. He's too proud. He's too good, really.
Yeah.
People have this
no chance
thing
of him winning on points now.
I think he'll probably just be outclassed, and it's a case of what we said with Liam Smith before, how far down's he starting, do you know what I mean, on the card. And he's a British fighter, but sometimes it goes that way. But I think, he's a live underdog, but I just think Gamal, your 5 points might, like 116, 112, just a comfortable points decision. That's sort of a bet for me. Hopefully we can keep that going. But I've got the UFC this weekend as well. Another UFC 262, which is going to be worth a watch. The top of that's Michael Chandler against Charles Oliveira. At lightweight, so the winner of that will then fight Conor McGregor or Dustin Poirier this is for the title. Then McGregor and Poirier will fight, and then the winner of that will fight the soon-to-be champion, whoever's crowned this weekend. So, big weekend for UFC as well.
Hopefully, mate, over this weekend, now that we've got the bets out the way, the weekends will they get us a date for Fury Joshua.
Yeah. Well, I've seen this
longest running thing in history.
To be honest, Fury was on Eddie Hearn's podcast last week saying I'm Spartan and stuff like that. I don't care about money, and then said I'm not signing until you guarantee me money. So,
well, I like the way and listen, I love Fury's attitude, and I do love Fury, and I want him to beat Joshua, and listen, it's part of the pantomime. He's given off this I don't care about money and all that, and Eddie Hearn just said, but you do like a pound note as well.
The reason he wears Versace shirts all the time.
Do you know what I mean? And it's great trying to be a man of the people, but you're also not a man of the people when you are a fucking multi-millionaire. Exactly
that. And I think interestingly, the UFC announced today that Darren Till's back on August 14th against Derek Brunson. Whispers that could be UFC London in the O2 with a crowd, and they're saying Joshua Fury could be the same day. So, big booze up for anyone who's not involved. But
hopefully Paddy maybe get on the
Paddy, maybe that could be his debut in London. They'll just stack it with as much British talent as possible. It used to be a case years ago where the UFC would come to London, but it would just be stars from, because we never really had many big stars. We had people like Terry Etam and stuff like that, but they were like trailblazers, just them, you know what I mean? Not many anyone else to stack the card out, Dan Hardy and stuff. But they could be stacked top to bottom with British talent now, which would be brilliant.
That wouldn't it? 2 Scousers down there.
Well, I think Molly would probably get on the card as well. Yeah. And
well, Molly said, I've seen on her Instagram actually, she's going to be announcing something soon, or the UFC are going to be announcing something soon.
It's sort of starting to tie in, but they've obviously
must be that.
And
on the 14th.
I think August 14th feels miles away, but I think it's only 14 weeks or something.
Yeah, 12. Middle of May already, aren't we?
Yeah, so like a 12-week camp for them. So obviously if everyone could get on,
it's going to be a great summer,
Yeah, I hope so. I just, we've said it before, but we've had enough negativity, haven't we?
I think as well, mate, to go off sport and to kind of end it on a positive note. They said, didn't they, after the war, First World War and the Spanish flu, they called it like the 20s. They were like booming, weren't they?
Yeah.
Like it was all peace and love and everyone was happy. And
I think because everyone has a chance to stop and be like, right, I need to reevaluate a little bit.
Yeah.
You sort of have the boom after the the darkest sort of trough, highest
boom
high.
After the bust almost.
Yeah, it literally is that, and I can only hope, because our world right now needs a bit of positivity, doesn't it? Just in general. There's enough negative people, enough negative headlines.
Big time, yeah.
Last us a actual lifetime.
I know. On that note, stay positive. Like, comment, subscribe, make sure you've done all that. Tell your mates about it. Massive thanks again to Social Scousers. If you need any social media needs, any branding, designs, anything like that, give them a shout. And also massive thank you to everyone who's bought a ticket to the event in the Beer Keller. We've sold out now, just in 4 or 5 days it took. So again, all your support means a lot. I know me, Jordan and Tom massively appreciate it. And thanks for the feedback of the Sportscast. People out there seem to be liking it, which is good news. And nice one.